talking about your career, what was like inspiring you? Why did you start this career in international relationships?
Wow. Actually, when I was in high school, I had already a lot of, I was really attracted too. It's got
No, we're not gonna cut it out. He said that. Okay, self-confidence is fine. It's a key for success.
À l'antenne dans 5 secondes.
Bienvenue à tous en notre deuxième épisode du podcast l'IAE Talk. Moi c'est Dordo et aujourd'hui on va avoir un invité, c'est Monsieur AZZI du Bureau des Relations Internationales. Vu que ce podcast sera par rapport à les étudiants internationaux et à la thématique internationale, on va parler en anglais. Du coup, on va pas attendre, on va pas vous faire attendre et on va annoncer notre invité, Monsieur AZZI. So, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
Always fine, of course. Always fine. It's a pleasure for you being here.
Thanks for the invitation. I'm really glad.
Of course. So, how do we start? We make a little presentation here?
Yeah, if you want, let's start.
Yeah. Introduce yourself, please, for our listeners.
My name is Atef AZZI. I'm 31 years old. What to say about me? Expect that international is mostly all of my life. I'm from West Normandy, initially from Tunisian descent.
Right.
I'm a historian, geopolitical analyst. I've worked for French governments for years as a diplomat, as an analyst, but also in the universities as an international project officer. And it's been almost 2 years that I'm here that year.
So we can say it was a bit your passion, it's always been your passion.
Yeah, I think so. I've discovered international when I was at uni, actually.
Oh.
Yep, I went to Erasmus in Istanbul.
Okay. We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna
talk about it. Yeah.
It started from 10 years ago.
Right. And since how long have you been working here for a year?
2 years around.
2 years.
Yeah.
How's it been so far?
It's going well.
Because for the listeners, you don't know, but actually, I had the opportunity to take a 5-month stage, an internship here with the International Relations Office.
Indeed.
It was very good. It was very inspiring. And so let's get to the point. Let's pass to something more interesting. So talking about your career, what was that inspired you to start this career in international relationships?
Well, it started in high school, I guess. Yeah, in
Alright.
high school, I remember we had a meeting with the vice consul from the U.S. embassy.
Okay,
that
that's
came
cool.
to my high school, in West France, in Normandy, just to introduce her job, her duties, what she's doing in Paris, why
Right.
she's
Right.
serving the U.S. I said, okay,
You enjoyed it, let's say.
I said, yeah. I mean, when you're in high school, you
Yeah.
don't have that much idea about you're gonna do.
Yeah, that's right.
In the following years,
Mm.
but it was, let's say, really inspiring and really interesting because I never knew anything about what's happening within an embassy or stuff like that.
Right.
And I said, okay, maybe I should dig in a little
But
bit
you
more.
did not start your career as as a head of the international office.
No.
That came recently.
It came really recently. Patience is a big thing.
All right.
I have quite a bumpy years in high schools.
All right,
It was
okay.
complicated anyway. I made it to uni, and I did a history, political sciences bachelor.
Right.
And I
If I may ask,
Yeah.
when you were young, not that you're not young now, but like I mean that changed.
Younger.
Younger. I mean, when you were in high school or like maybe when you were doing your university, did you do any Erasmus? Did you?
I did an Erasmus actually.
All right.
I did an Erasmus in Istanbul in Yildiz Teknik University, and I specialized myself in Middle East geopolitics.
Okay.
And it was my first true experience abroad, and it was really mind blowing.
All right.
Like for those who knows Istanbul, like it's a
Yeah, I never been there.
like it's a city like that really asking you for a lot.
All right.
Yeah, Istanbul is quite like it was quite a cultural shock for me.
All right.
Like you coming there with your Western point of view and everything, but like everything is just collapsing in your head because you're confronted to so many things, to so many history, so many modernity also in another part, so many traditions, and actually like it gives you this taste that okay, I want more.
Okay.
It's
So
not enough for me.
It changed a bit your mind, like your mindset.
Indeed, it completely changed my mindset because I was
Okay.
like in my uni in
of
West
course.
France.
Yeah.
Like you think that you know everything about everything,
Yeah.
but actually you know nothing.
Yeah. Right. When
And-
when you change a bit, you start seeing things differently. That's it.
And you see things differently. You also meet new people
Right.
from all around the world.
Did you meet anyone like that?
I met a lot of people there.
Right.
Like except like Turkish local people.
Yeah.
Like people from Asia.
Right.
Other people like from other countries in Europe, North Africa, South America.
Do you like? Are you still in contact with some of them?
With
or?
some of them are still my good friend.
Oh,
I have
that's
a
cool.
long history with Istanbul, because I went.
Okay.
I lived 3 times in Istanbul, like
All right. Okay. 3 times, not once, not twice.
3
times.
I had 3 life also in Istanbul.
Okay. So
Like a first life as a student,
Yeah.
second life as a diplomat, third life as a married man.
okay. For those interested, it's not available. Okay.
And I think it was the starting point of everything that
Okay.
shaped my career, and shaped also my choices.
Will you give an example about it? Like, what would you have like done differently if like now it's difficult to say it, but
Yeah.
let's say that you didn't do this experience, like, and
Yeah.
you just kept living in West France, like, well, how do you see like the difference? Like,
I mean, like a lot of things. And first of all,
mhm.
I said I would have stayed
Okay,
in France.
okay,
Maybe traveling like here and there, but not much.
right. So you think that like traveling like is very much important, like it's very
Yeah,
important,
of course.
right? Like that's why probably also you decided to take this career path because
Yeah.
you realized it a bit,
Indeed.
like I'm an international student myself, so like
you know,
you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
like it's very important for people, like sometimes they
Yeah.
don't like consider doing an Erasmus or
It's true.
international
That's
experience,
true,
and
that's true.
like what would you say like it's the most important part of doing Erasmus? What brings you like
I mean, like most of the people are expecting that
mhm.
Erasmus will have like an direct and momentous impact on their life,
Okay,
but actually it's coming after.
Yeah.
Like I felt the impact of the Erasmus in my life, to be honest, like 2-3 years afterwards.
oh, like you were already like you came back and then you realized,
Here I said, okay,
all right,
this was eye-opening. This was an addiction.
right,
Like the fact
Yeah.
that you're going abroad to live abroad.
Yeah.
It's putting yourself out of the comfort zone, and you learn so much about yourself.
right.
You learn so much about other, but you learn so much about yourself.
So you think that I mean I can share these thoughts because like surely like I did 5 months here in Erasmus,
Yeah.
then my internship, then I decided to stay here. But I think we can agree on the fact that when you start traveling, it's like it's not enough. You want more. You want more and more and more, and you just can't stop. So like how did you manage to like to say, okay, that's enough, I need to start like setting my life, starting like career path, or because it's very complicated. Like how did you do it?
Like, to be honest, right now, I'm not sure that I'm settled or anything.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I have like another opportunity abroad, I'm taking it without
Okay.
any hesitation.
okay.
Like.
So you're still living in this mindset that
I'm
it's
still living in this mindset. Like, even it's more calm for me right now, but for me it was like I don't know when I will say, okay, it's enough. I have to stay at one
Right.
place.
right.
I have to stay there and like just settle, build a life around like around your work or around your environment. But I didn't have this click yet.
All right.
Like, I'm still like.
And you think that's like, what's like the minimum of time you need to go like into another like state or region, or like you think even 1 month could change your perspective, or like you need to live like a year, or
Yeah, I guess actually one offer. One offer can change everything.
yeah. But I mean, as a student, like I know that sometimes it's a bit scary to like to
Yeah, of
do
course,
something
of
like
course, of
that, to
course,
go abroad and
Yeah.
starting like I mean a whole new experience where you don't know the country, you don't know the language most of the
Indeed,
times. And I know that some students recently are deciding like to take, for example, regarding Erasmus, but also
Yeah.
international experience in general, they did shift to, let's say, a shorter amount of time. They prefer to spend like 2-3 months instead of 6 months or a year abroad.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think this is happening? Like, well,
I guess you have like a lot of reason to that.
Hmm.
First of all, and it's mainly about finances.
right,
I mean, like years ago, it was still sustainable, like to stay in the country for 6, 5, 7 months.
right,
And I guess right now it's really complicated to say, okay, I'm going for 5, 6, 7 months, because like the finance are not following with your ideas or with your project.
right,
Second of all, I think that a lot of students are taking in consideration the climate change.
okay,
That's why they would rather go, let's say, really close to take like a green mobility,
right,
like a train
Right.
or whatever, and to avoid like taking planes for 8 hours, 7 hours, whatever. Third thing, I guess like COVID had
Yeah.
a big impact on
it
people.
changed everything.
It
there.
changed everything
Yep.
actually. Like I can see it like with the figures. Like when I used to work like in university,
Yep.
before COVID and after COVID, like you are seeing the figures going down.
Right,
And I think like that's the three big impact. Like it's coming from climate change. Like people
Yeah.
are starting to understand that climate change is something really important.
Yeah. It is.
And also you can see like through Erasmus program that you have like new project popping up about like green mobility or hybrid mobility in order like to reduce your carbon print.
Right. Then do you have like any incentive like regarding the IAE or in
Mhm.
general the Université de Lorraine,
Yeah.
like for students that decide to take, for example, a train or a bus instead of taking the plane? Like,
Indeed. Yeah, like Erasmus program built that a few years ago.
right,
That if you are going into your to your mobility by any means,
Yeah.
green means like train, shared
Yeah,
car, or
a
whatever,
bus or
you have like a financial top up.
all right.
Like in
That's-
order
that's-
like to push students like to use like alternative way of transportation, like to go to their mobility.
And like how much do you think it's important? I mean, it might seem a bit obvious, but
Yeah.
it's important to say like how much is important, like financial aid that we receive like from universities, like because I know that there are some funds, like I mean, of course students are helped. So
Yeah.
like how do you see that? Like, did you see like an increase in the funds or something like,
like you have an increase of the funding, obviously.
Yeah.
But still, it was always been the problem of international.
Right.
It's not being inclusive enough.
yeah, I got it. Not many people that can afford it.
Yeah. Like, and I mean, like through like some scholarships that are coming from Université de Lorraine or from IAE or from Erasmus program, we're still fighting to keep international inclusive to everyone.
Yeah.
And that's really important, and we are fighting for that actually.
I
to
mean,
give this opportunity to everyone, whatever they come from.
yeah. And I mean, traveling and doing like international experience is all about inclusivity actually, like
Of course.
I mean, having the possibility to meet other countries and cultures and languages. That's fundamental. And like in this climate, I mean, without getting into politics, we might say that it's very important to have even like a state or a whole general like mindset that pushes students to take this kind of experiences.
Yeah, of course. I think like that's the and you something just popped up in my mind. You have a fourth reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you see geopolitical change, change, and I understand that some of the students might be afraid of traveling abroad and into jumping into like an unknown world actually. And
I did it personally in France.
Yeah,
it was a bit difficult, but I mean, once you take that step, I think everything starts like to get easier.
Indeed.
And I think that's for the students. Like, what could you tell to the students like that they are a bit afraid of taking this opportunities that they face?
Like, first of all, like I would say that I understand their fears because I guess I went through it also many times in my life. But the main point is that like the fear must not hold them back.
Okay.
Like they have to get in because like the benefits are really good after that. Like many benefits. Like you will create yourself like a network of international friends. You will evolve in your language skills.
Right.
You will be more open-minded.
Right.
And you will be able to enter the labor market quite easier with that experience because like it shows so much about you.
And how much do you think is important, for example, when you add to your CV that you actually did an international experience, like for a company looking at you, like you think that like gives a bit of an advantage or
Of course. It shows that you are able to adapt yourself.
Yeah.
And that you are able to be like ready for change.
Yeah.
That you are able like to bring innovation in the game, and that's really important.
Yeah, because I know that like I know that's interesting also for us as students. That we today we go towards like a war where we're supposed to change and a lot of jobs, and
Indeed.
we don't have that stability that as we used to have like let's say 20 years ago or 30 years ago.
True.
So maybe today actually being already prepared to change and like and both emotionally par rapport.
Par rapport.
That's French. You know, when you come to another country, like, you start mixing. What I wanted to say was, for what concerns, for what concerns like your financial life, your and then managing your emotions, like it gets difficult. Like I mean, it's and if you're ready to do it, and if you approach this kind of life, which is a bit frenetic, we might say, maybe you do have an advantage later. Like I mean,
of course you have an advantage. Like of course you have an advantage. Like. With all of my experience, and with all of the students that I sent abroad or whatever,
right.
I had like maybe one or two bad feedback for really specific reason.
All right.
That not really related to the experience itself, you know.
Right.
But most of them came back and say, "Okay, wow, it was eye-opening. It was really crazy. I went out of my
comfort zone. Yeah. So you might want to say that, let's say the 99% of the cases that they come back and they're happy about it.
Of course. Like I remember, like my whole batch went to Erasmus. Everything went well for everyone, and we say, okay, that's what we want actually.
So let me shoot something here. Let me try something here.
Okay.
So maybe wouldn't it like be interesting for Erasmus students, or at least not really Erasmus students, but students that are willing to take part to this program, maybe and maybe they have some fears, like they're not sure about it, they're not convinced. Wouldn't like be like useful, like organize a sort of program where they can meet with ex-Erasmus students and like so they can help them. Like what do you say about this?
Really
Did I just give you an idea?
You just gave me an idea. Actually, like the idea was already on the it's already on the track. Like,
okay.
Like
I'm late.
Never too late. And like the main idea is like to share experiences.
Okay.
Like to share experiences, but as I'm always saying, like you cannot push someone to go to international. You cannot make it mandatory or whatever.
Right.
Like this decision must comes for himself, from himself,
from the person itself, from themselves. Yeah. I mean, it's always change always comes from ourselves, doesn't it? Like,
of course. Yeah. I mean, like we are just here to give you a little push.
Yeah, of course.
Like a little push.
I mean, little push. Like we are help both financially, and
everything. Give you
like
some advices.
Bureaucracy. Like
Indeed,
I know that if tomorrow I want to go, I don't know, to the USA or Canada, you will help me with my visa.
Indeed.
Like, I mean,
that's part of the job.
I mean, so we might say the students have all the tools that they need. They just need to embrace the idea.
Embrace the idea, and you have like to implement like the seed in their mind.
Right.
That's like inception.
All right.
Like you really have to sometimes to go.
I mean, like a person should like always consider like the benefits and
of course.
That the
Like
person's taking.
you have also like and let's be honest about that. We have also like the little bit of dark side of it.
Yeah.
Because like I knew it. I can talk about it. Like I guess you can talk also about it. Like sometimes you will feel alone. Sometimes
No dark side in France. No.
No, but we have to give like a truthful like picture about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you will have like doubt about the path that you are following.
Yeah.
You say, okay, for what? And as I told you before, like you will see the benefit in it years after you experience.
Right.
You will feel alone. You will feel like misunderstood because you are not evolving like in your known environment, and it comes with a price.
Right.
And like it's the price to accept to be better and to go higher, to aim for more.
Right.
And I think like if you compare benefits and a little bit of this dark side that I'm talking about, that the benefits are really higher.
Not really high.
Really higher.
So we talked a little bit about like Erasmus experiences and like how do you approach these programs and how to overcome fears.
Indeed.
And if we shift our topic like to a more like precise topic, like here at IAE, like I'd like to know a little bit better like how do you find a job, like what's the best part of working here at IAE, and don't incriminate yourself.
Actually, like I started my career as I was like a deputy of the educational attaché of the French embassy in Kuwait.
All right.
François, if you listen to me, thanks a lot. That guy taught me literally everything about the job.
Okay.
How you build partnerships, how you create a network.
Right.
In France and also abroad. How you... it's many stuff that I cannot say all of it, but...
All right.
And how you just realize that French higher education is a really soft power.
Okay.
It's a policy of influence. You use it as a tool of influence. Right. And how France is seen abroad. And most of the people that worked for France abroad will tell you, I learned a lot about my own country.
Okay.
and I learned a lot about France.
How is France seen abroad?
Like the thing is that when you're living in France, you're always complaining about about this.
Yeah.
And when
it's a bit French culture.
It's a French culture, yeah. And actually, when you go abroad, you just realize how people love France. How they have the will. They have the will to learn how to speak French, the will to understand the French culture, and everything that comes around. And it's my first experience, and I was really baffled about how French higher education is a soft power tool, because we have quite a good higher education system,
right?
Research labs that are known, that you can find in Shanghai ranking and things like that. And it's it's telling a lot. Said okay, we have to make shine this higher education abroad.
Right.
And my posting here at IAE, for me it's a part as a logical path to me.
Right.
Because I started from embassies. After that I worked for Campus France.
Okay.
Campus France is also it's a state operator that is working to promote higher education worldwide.
Right.
You see already the first stage, second stage.
Yeah, you're following a path.
After that I went into University of Rouen. I came back to my alma mater actually.
Okay.
I came back to my alma mater when I was a student, and I worked for the university that I graduated from.
That must have felt very good.
That was good, yeah. In a way, I was giving back what they gave me,
Right.
And I worked as a mobility officer, program coordinator at the main international office.
Right.
And you see also another scale of international cooperation. And at one point I said, okay, what is the next step? The next step is to work on one faculty or one school. And here was really challenging. It's still challenging, and I guess that's what I was looking for.
Challenge,
yeah. How to build everything from the scratch.
Right.
How to create bridges between our student and international student, but also between international students and our students. How to implement, how to disseminate this international mindset within the institution. And it's not taking a year or 2 or 3 or whatever. It's taking it will take 5 years.
Right.
I will just start the job.
So it's a long-term process.
It's a long-term process. You cannot internationalize a structure within 2 years. Someone who's telling you that is a liar.
All right. We need to face the truth.
Yeah.
And from my experience, I can tell that France is a bit. It's a very welcoming country. There are a lot of cultures living together.
Indeed.
In one place.
Yeah.
And at the same time, sometimes it's a bit difficult because when it comes to being a bit more international, speaking English and in that way, there is where we find the difficult part. Because when we deal with the bureaucracy, French bureaucracy, which we know it's not easy, as in other countries as well. Yeah. But even in the schools, you feel that, on one side, we can say that when you come here, you don't speak French as I did, you're kind of forced to learn it. Yeah. Because if you don't speak it, you can just pack your things and go home.
Yeah, that's the part of the...
That's the dark side that we were talking about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as you said, you cannot just change things in a couple of days.
Yeah.
You need to.
It's impossible to change things in a couple of days because when you want to internationalize an institution, you have to go through a few steps.
Right.
few steps, like understand what is international, what it can bring to your student, but not also to your students, also to the professors, also to the administrative staff.
Right. Do you have any like professor or any staff member that like takes international experiences? Like,
yeah.
For example,
we have like two of our colleagues in administrative staff that will go in Barcelona in a few weeks.
Right.
We have also like some teacher that came here within the Erasmus program, and other professors are going also abroad, like for within the Erasmus program. And I think it's really important because it started from internationalize your staff.
Yeah.
It's the first step.
You can't be really international if your staff is not international. So.
Like, I mean, you must really have staff that was confronted to this international mindset.
The whole staff needs to
the whole
embrace
staff to embrace it,
this culture.
And from that you can start. You can start to build courses in English. You can start to build joint programs. You can start to create agreement for mobilities.
Right. So you think that with the staff, the personnel taking and doing international Erasmus or international experience, let's say in general, makes it easier for this change in internationalization, we could say.
Of course.
Yeah.
You cannot say to a student go abroad.
Yeah.
If the institution is
Right.
not like being like at least international tolerant, hosting international student.
Right.
And like since 2 years, like with Professor Smail Benzidia, like we try to put everything on our side, all chances in our side, by hiring more international students, by sending more of our students abroad, by hosting professors and administrative staff here, by sending administrative and professor abroad. That's the whole point of international. It's to create bridges between countries, create bridges between universities. That's the whole point of it. And how? Because we are sharing our practices.
Right.
Like I was talking from my colleague from Spain. How you do that? Said me, look, I'm trying that methodology. Sometimes it's working, sometimes not. Maybe for your size, you should try that. And so like sometimes he's asking me question. I'm giving him like some advices. Like you have to see that as the whole network.
So you're sharing knowledge and
Indeed,
cooperation.
Like when you do international and when you tell people that you are doing international in higher education, they will mostly tell you that you're just sending students abroad.
Yeah.
But actually, like it's more than that. And as I told you before, everything is related to this soft power within the higher education.
Right.
Like mobility, that's the visible part of the cooperation. Okay. But you have also this invisible part that is just staying between me and my colleagues from the other universities. Okay. And the thing is that we are sharing a lot between each other.
Right.
About practices, processes, what is ongoing on the several programs that we are working on. We're also digging for new opportunities together.
Right.
Like the easiest way to start a cooperation obviously will be like mobility. But after that you can take it to the next level with your partner if you wish to. Means that you can talk about like collaboration in research project, summer schools, staff week, blended intensive program, that's hybrid mobility,
right,
joint program or joint master degrees. Like you have like many possibilities within Erasmus scope to develop your cooperation. But like it's always start with mobility.
And regarding you, like how many is like if you can tell us partnership did you establish? Like how is
like right
you
now
placed?
Yeah, right. Like I'm not in this ranking thing, like how we placed or anything like that. The most important thing is how you create opportunity for everyone.
Right.
That's what matters. Like ranking, not ranking. Like
that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to me, and it doesn't matter to us actually.
And do you think that with you and like with all the stuff is like working in this sense in a good way? Like they do?
I think so. I think so.
You think so?
I
And
think
you hope
so.
so?
I hope so.
Because you'll be judged on your work.
I think so, and I hope so. But the main point, like, for example, like we're working with l'Université du Québec à Montréal.
Okay.
Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières.
Okay.
Like it's our historical partner.
Right.
It's been years that we're working with them just for mobility, but at one point, like we need to make it sustainable to reach another kind of step.
Right.
Organizing summer schools, for example. 1 year they're coming here, next year we're going there.
Right.
Like in this sustainable topic. Also within the research, like how you can create bridges between your professors and their professors.
I mean, what impressed me the most, like maybe we can talk in that sense, it's a bit the fact that all our like professors, most of the times our professors are researchers. They do research, like most of them. I think maybe all of them, like and
all of them actually. That's a French thing.
Yeah, that's the thing, and maybe like this thing of like sharing with other countries and going abroad, surely helps them, like enriches them, and maybe gives them. And this is what I've seen, like a possibility to talk to the students in a different like way because they've seen more things.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
and that's why it's really important, like to host international professors,
right,
in your institution, to give this glimpse to your student, to say, look what you can have and what can international can offers you. Right. And I think that's like you have multiple way to internationalize in a school or a university. And I mean, like at IAE we're trying like to put like every chance in our side, every opportunity, like to make it work.
Right. And like when it comes to your office of international relations, what can you share like to us? What's, let's say, the strategy or if there is like something like in a long term of 5 to 10 years or a short one, like
actually we built the strategy with Ismail Benzidia,
right?
He's vice dean in charge of international. Actually, you have always to have this academic point of view, and you have this technical point of view.
All right,
that is mine. Like to make it work, because if you're just going through the academic, nothing's gonna happen. If you go through like just the technical part, nothing's gonna happen. You have to combine both to have results. And actually, like already since now a year and a half, 2 years, we have already good result. That's really that we're happy about. But obviously we're aiming for more. Something within 5 or 10 years, you need some more like to implement this international mindset. And you have to stay consistent.
It's a culture shift.
It's a culture shift, yeah. Actually, it's a culture shift.
Do you see like in let's say a couple of years or something like that, you're giving like entire courses like in full English?
It's our aim.
It's your aim.
It's our aim, but like it's supposed like to be through a lot of regulations.
Right.
Like it's seems easy, but not.
Yeah, there is a whole part like behind it. That
through a process that might be complicated to get through.
Yeah.
But like already, like if you are able to provide 20% or 25% of your curriculum in English, I guess it's already a big step forward.
Right.
Yeah. And on top of that, you add incoming mobility,
right?
Outgoing mobility, incoming teaching mobility,
right?
You're starting to have something that looks like international.
Okay, so that's we might say that's the direction.
That's the direction that we're taking, and it's taking time.
It's taking time, but
change management. Some people might be okay with it, but
some people might not. Yeah, of course. That's like. That's about the culture we were talking about.
The culture.
That regards the culture.
It's about also diplomacy, like how you bring stuff on the table, how you put stuff on the table. If you go too fast, a lot of people won't follow. But if you go too slow, you're already late.
That's the big question.
That's the big
That's the
question.
dilemma,
It's
yeah.
like you have to find like a really consistent pace,
Right.
like into it.
But I mean, like, we're talking about the culture and this like innovative approach, international approach.
Indeed.
But I mean, overall, we could say that IAE here is doing a good job. Like it's in this year, you are going to you're doing a good job.
Like
If you had to give yourself like a note, like from 1 to 10,
no.
how would you?
I cannot like. I guess I won't be objective, but like I still have this little voice in my head.
You're going to do a 6, so you stay in the middle, so you don't take the risk.
No, I'm not taking the risk. Like I'm willing to take it, but I still have this voice in my head to say it's not enough.
It's not enough.
More.
Right.
More. Because like I believe and we believe as an institution that international brings a lot of value to our students. Like not just as a student, but as like a human being. True.
Right. So I think we covered enough topics.
Yeah,
today.
I think so.
So I'd like to close this episode with just one question more.
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, 2 questions. The first
Okay,
one is let's not cut it like immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, first thing, which is like 3 words, only 3 words that comes to your mind when we say international. What the first 3 words that comes to your mind?
Discovery,
Right.
self-improvement, and I would say adventure.
Okay. And the last question. This is really the last one.
Yeah.
What would you say to the students that are like that will watch this video, and that they're not really sure about like doing an international experience, or maybe professors that are
Indeed.
looking into it? What would you say to them?
Go for it
Go for it.
and don't look back.
Okay.
Actually, don't look back.
Go for it and don't look back.
And don't look back, yeah. It's really important. Like, don't look back. Like, I've seen that, like, when I went abroad. Like, it's not good to look back.
Okay.
Because you just,
Don't look back.
don't look back. Just go for it, like,
And that's it.
and that's it. Go for it. Like, that's the only thing that I can advise you. Go for it. Don't ask yourself too much question. It's really worth it at the end. Always.
So I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to thank you for being here today. Again, it was
Thanks to you.
a real pleasure, and I hope the students find this episode a bit interesting. And I mean, we will of course try to bring also some international students to our podcast. Maybe we will try to do something. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We'll try to do
Spoiler
something
alert.
maybe with you and some international students,
Yeah,
or
pleasure,
we
always.
might work in this way.
Anytime.
So it was a pleasure, and thank you again.
Thanks to you.